Welcome back to the pregame. Time now for our Corridor Drywall player profile. Tonight we have Jeff Bowie, offensive and defensive lineman here for the Bears. And Jeff started off with Tipton last Friday night, 17-8. Good way to start the year with that big win.
Yeah, it was a tough game. They played it really well, and they had some big guys, and I thought the younger guys really helped step up in that game like we needed them to, and I'm just glad we came away with the win.
Well, going in, Tipton with that offense, so many assignment football things that you need to pay attention to on the defensive side. Talk about how you saw the defense respond to that, be able to keep them in check.
Yeah, it was a little bit to worry about coming into the game because so many younger guys, they're not quite into their role yet. They're not 100% sure, but they came out and did what they needed to assignment-wise, and we filled all the gaps we needed to for the most part the whole game, and I was pretty happy with the way everyone played together as a team.
How's that going to help you, just as a defensive unit, as a team as all, just relying on each other and trusting each other?
I think having that as our first game is going to help a lot because now we know that when we have to, we can trust each other to get things done. And no one's going out there and playing hero ball and trying to do too much because that's when our defense is going to break down. And just having that as our first game kind of really put everyone in check and just showed them, hey, this is how it's going to be all year.
Well, you're one of those guys that is not a new face. You've been through it a couple times. You know how it goes out there. What are you trying to do to help these guys come along and get to where you were, from where you were when you started to where you are now?
Just really giving them a pat on the back when they need it and letting them know that it's okay to mess up every once in a while, but you got to learn from your mistakes. And as you get older and as the season goes on, you got to really put those mistakes behind you and you just got to become a better football player. Taking all the coaching and all the response from us captains that we can give you, and you just soak it all up.
Well, over on the offensive side, I'm a big believer in that offensive line, and when you can get all five pieces working together, things run really smoothly. What do you see as that work in progress right now?
I think last week we had some things we needed to clean up on. I thought pass-wise we did pretty well, but in the run game there's a lot of ways we need to stay tighter on some combo blocks and things like that, but that's to be expected week one with a lot of new guys, and I think next week we're going to show a lot of people that we're going to progress throughout the season and we're really going to get that five-guy chemistry going.
Well, one of the things that I noticed throughout the game Friday night was just the momentum, and neither team really was able to take it. It's like we'd do something, Tipton would respond, they'd find something, we'd find a way to respond. How do you make sure that you keep level through that and not get too excited when something good happens, but not get too down when something bad does?
Just keeping everyone calm for the most part. Just keeping those emotions intact is really important because when those guys, the younger guys especially, they get a big head or something, they try to do too much, and that's when a big play will happen. And, just staying level and trying to really keep the guys all together is pretty important.
Well, you've kind of been alluding to it, but as a senior captain, what do you try to do as a leader? How do you, are you the vocal guy? Are you the smack somebody upside the head? Or how do you get them motivated?
I try to be real vocal with them and just let them know, hey, this is when we got to go. This is go time. Like, we can't slack off right now. It's time to pick it up. And, most of the guys respond pretty well. And if they don't, I can get up in their face and they respect that. But most of the part, I don't have to do that. They listen and they've been doing really well so far.
Well, week number 2, and we've got West Liberty here tonight. Talk about the comments. What are you expecting to see from them?
We expect to see a lot of run. That running back, he's really fast, and he had over 200 yards last game. So definitely keeping him contained is our biggest thing, and just really getting our offense rolling. It was a big defensive game last week, going back and forth, like you said, and just getting our offense that confidence to really get a lot of yards and get the touchdowns rolling in and getting everyone comfortable in their spots.
Well, obviously football is a big part, and we've got some things we'll talk about here in just a little bit. What else besides football do you like to do with your time here at school?
I like to be in the weight room a lot, obviously, with the guys. I think that's really good for the bonding and everything. And then just watching film, I think, is real fun to see, even from past years, just to see growth and see things that you can improve on always in your game is really fun. Plus, just being in class with the guys, you can't beat it. It's last year, so we're kind of just taking everything in together.
Any other sports? Or, I know chess club's always a big one here on the team.
I don't do chess club, but I do basketball. And last year I didn't get to play that much, but this year I'm hoping I'll get a full season in, and I'm hoping we can make a good run in basketball too.
Okay. Well, like I said, a lot of people know the plans already. You've committed to the University of Iowa to continue the football career. Talk a little bit about that process, going through the recruiting and what that was like.
Going to all the visits and stuff was really nice, and waiting for that Iowa offer was kind of just like, were they going to offer me, were they not? They always showed a lot of interest in me since like my freshman year, but you know, once I had that offer, I mean, obviously being a Hawkeye fan growing up my whole life, it was the favorite, and I tried to give everywhere a fair shot just to really see everywhere, but with the Hawks, I mean, there wasn't a better program around. There wasn't a better coaching staff that you could really trust and get to know everyone like that. So that came into it a lot, and I just really trust the way they have things going over there right now.
Were there things that you picked up that you've tried to bring back for your coaches or teammates from some of those different schools you saw?
Well, I went to a lot of camps over the summers, and just a lot of the technique things I learned on the defensive line. I try to help the guys with that, and just a lot of hand placement and footwork things that you wouldn't think would make a big difference, but when it comes from those college coaches, you know, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, you got a few more weeks to work on that here and perfect it and hopefully continue the season on. Jeff, thanks very much for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thanks.
That is Jeff Bowie. He's tonight's Corridor Drywall player profile. We'll be back with more of the pregame right after this. This is the Bearcast at westbranchfootball.com.